How did you guys realize that this was something that needed innovation? What about the industry, what about your experiences inspired this?
Yeah, well, we didn't have a huge amount of industry experience at the time. I mean, I was studying computer science, Charlie was in global business, we were both in university knocking heads. We started as a consumer panel company, so we were trying to solve the problem of engagement in like survey responses. We did a really good job of that in Ireland, and then we realized that globally it was difficult to scale, but also not as big a problem. There was great panels all over the world. So we started working with Tesco and Diageo closely in understanding what problems they specifically had in those markets, and really it was focused around speed and then the quality of the insight that they got at the end. So we started layering in our AI technology to design the research, gather the data, and analyze that insight.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you're better off being lucky than good, and we found ourselves in an industry which was dominated by repeatable human tasks. There's this feeling of, no one ever got fired for using IBM, no one ever got fired for using Ipsos or the market research agency in that local market. So there's that feeling, because when people are buying data, they're usually buying trust and comfort in a decision. They're not actually truly buying the insight. So we found ourselves in an industry that was dominated by very talented, expensive and experienced humans doing every task, which meant it was kind of ripe for disruption. But that wasn't any sort of business strategy plan. We kind of fell into an industry, and the more we kind of went into it, the more we realized it lacked a lot of technology, first principles thinking. It was filled with exceptional people that we felt weren't giving themselves enough credit. Market researchers would scream and not be listened to. And I think we are trying to elevate them to the C-suite in terms of the types of decisions. Like every senior person in a brand or every junior person in a brand should be able to get research. But before we entered the space, it felt quite inaccessible. And truly, it was just expensive. So only the big brands did it. But if you were a challenger brand trying to come into the market, you would spend all your money on advertising and no money on understanding why are people buying or how are people buying. So it's smarter use of money. So that's where we're trying to really change the thinking around the industry.
Yeah, and the people working in insights are amazing strategists. They understand their brands really well. They understand the problems their brands have really well, but they're having to spend hours every week trying to pick the perfect question to reach the right consumer, which really isn't a problem that they need to be solving. They want to be looking at their brand, and then we take it from there.
Yeah.